Welcome back to Talking Pop Culture, and in today's video we are going to review Neverlanders by Tom Taylor and John Samavia. Now, I purchased this great hardcover copy from the greatest comic book store in Melbourne, Big City Comics, Highmark. Be sure to go and check him out. So let's go and review Neverlanders. The story is a different perspective of the Neverland and Peter Pan that we all grew up with. Now, this story follows Bee and her group of fellow runaways, where one day at the station, Bee and Luz are asking people for some money when Luz was knocked onto the train tracks. Paco, who was watching on, helped save Luz. Bee then discovers that Paco is also a runaway, so Bee invites him to come live with them in their secret trailer home. Once they get back to their camp, Paco reveals he is a lost boy and he's from a world where he can take them to, where everything is beautiful and peaceful and they do not have to worry about doing what they're doing. So they all eventually agreed, and with the help of Tinkerbell, they whisk the group off to Neverland. But what Paco failed to mention is that Neverland is at war, and Paco needs Bee and her friends to help him fight. Now, this book is action-packed. It's very engaging and heartwarming at the same time, as you would expect from Tom Taylor. The character building in this is fantastic, and you are guaranteed to fall in love with one of these characters. Myself, I fell in love with Gracie. Just the way she interacted with people, loved it. Then I'm going to say Tinkerbell, because Tinkerbell in this is a badass warrior fairy, cursing and all. Awesome. It's also the message that Tom Taylor puts out in this book that is really good. And as someone that never really looked towards global warming and all that kind of stuff, when I read this book and I saw the way he was explaining it, I started to think to myself, you know what? These people could possibly be right. Because in this book, the villain wants to cut down this tree that makes Neverland so beautiful and so pure. He wants to cut the tree down so it can fuel, because it's a special tree with special powers, so it can fuel his transportations, his weapons, and he can make things out of this special tree. But the message that he's trying to put doesn't feel forced, and that is what the beautiness of this book is. A lot of things in society today, they don't try to spend time to explain a story, but rather just force it down your throat then and there. Tom Taylor builds it up, and he makes you fall in love with the characters, makes you fall in love with Neverland, and it makes you feel like, you know what, this is wrong. And you start wanting the kids to win. You're wanting them to save Neverland. But then, the kicker at the end. But before I get into that kicker, because that's the only thing I didn't like about this book, I've just got to say the illustrations, the artwork was absolutely amazing in this book. John Samavia does a really good job of getting you lost in Neverland and in the beautiful world, and each character looks amazing, especially Gracie. The way he drew Gracie when she does her sweet, innocent, loving, oh, please don't do that to me eyes, and it gets you really like, oh, just give her what she wants. Just looked great. Now, the kicker that I said that I didn't really enjoy, the twist. Tom Taylor is known for giving us amazing twists. And no, it's not the new Pan that we get in this book, because Tom Taylor does an amazing job of the character building of this new character that becomes Pan, that you're happy with that outcome. It's the twist with the villain, and I'm not going to spoil it, but it just feels like it shits on, especially my generation, people that grew up with the Peter Pan cartoon. It just feels like it shits on them. There's no explanation of why with this villain, and there may have been, and I may have missed it, so let me know in the comment section below if I did, but it just didn't need to be done unless Tom Taylor has plans of another book coming out explaining it. Then, by all means, I will read that book and might feel and think differently. But overall, this is a great book. Do pick it up. Do give it a read. Understand the actual story in this book and the message. And hey, if you feel the same way after reading this book, because it's the last 7 pages that gets you thinking, oh, this went from being the most amazing book to Why'd you have to do that? Let me know. Let me know all of your thoughts about this book in the comment section below. If you are going to talk spoilers, please do like a little emergency emoji just so people know that you're going to talk spoilers. And as always, if you haven't done so, hit that subscribe button, not only to keep up with all the cool content that goes on here at Talking Pop Culture, but for your chance to win some books and some Amazon gift cards. You can see the prizes there on the screen. Thank you so much. Wherever you are in the world, I appreciate you for taking the time out of watching this video, and be sure to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon with another video. Peace.